Eh bien, bonjour à tous, bienvenue dans cette nouvelle vidéo sur Hitman 3. On va continuer la campagne. Donc là, on va faire un mort dans la famille. Mais avant, on va quand même regarder la petite cinématique. J'espère que vous avez bien aimé la vidéo. N'hésitez pas à liker, partager, vous abonner. Je vous laisse avec la vidéo.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller. Come.
Je vais peut-être essayer d'en faire plusieurs. Là, on va commencer par une journée mémorable. Donc, on a un photographe. Vous allez voir ce que c'est.
To her or not? Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no?
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. And that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Poor thing.
And that detective asked to come here. Madam Carlyle must be in Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
Ugh, you've got to be kidding me. No power, no portrait.
Oh, Madam Carlyle will be furious. She expects the family photo to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be perfect.
Sorry, but, who are you hiding from?
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be perfect. Can't we just take a fuse from another fuse box?
I guess we could do that.
Good.
If they don't, then they probably have to. Now, I'm really curious to hear your opinion on this one, Price. We ran an online survey asking
so
whether
tired
or
of
not our audience believed it was
Please
acceptable.
don't!
Last week's 9 episode is
What?
sweet.
Oh, my!
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now. I know I have.
Mary is so upset. She's never seen a dead body before. Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
Ugh, you've got to be kidding me. No power, no portrait.
Oh, Madam Carlyle will be furious. She expects the family photo to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be perfect.
Delta 6 moving in on possible enemy target. Over.
I guess we could do that.
Good. I'll finish setting up, and then we'll grab the fuse just before you call down the family.
Good. Yeah, that's a good plan.
Not now, come on! No, you don't!
If we were talking about your kid here, would that change anything? For me,
Hey,
Well, it's
somebody
hard to
trying to
say,
be funny
isn't
here,
it?
or
I
what?
suppose I'd be more inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt. The disappointment would be a big factor, too. Think about it this way. No
And
one's...
it's off.
No, please!
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart. And that detective asked to come here. Madame
A
Carlyle
safe in
must-
Madame Carlyle's office.
Why else ask
I
me to
bet
snoop
that's
her
where
out?
she keeps the file on Arthur
Weak in my
Edwards.
knees from all the tension here.
We'll all need a vacation when this is over.
With so many of us in, we'll get everything we plan for the next few months done in 3 days. That's so good. No time to date.
It feels like I can't breathe in there. The tension is off the top.
Every time takes a desperate measure.
Oh, sounds like the power's back up. Why don't you take a picture to test it?
It works. I'm ready for the shoot.
Perfect. I'll call the family down now then. It's just in front of the fountain.
How are you doing, Patrick? Can't wait for this weekend win. You know, you're witnessing something quite special. Your grandmother putting on such a show. Now it's done. Such a joke.
Edward, you can't let Mother get to you like this.
Hi, good afternoon.
I expect you to be efficient. I have a lot to see to today.
I'll do my best.
Right ahead, please.
wait for everyone to show up. Listen, everyone. I understand that you have a lot of questions. Please be patient for a little longer. I will address you in the sitting room afterwards. Right, get in position. Let's get this over with. There's a puddle of water here. Well, never mind. Let's just get this done, shall we?
Chin up, Edward. No one wants to look at that long face.
You're such an idiot, Gregory.
I'm fine, Rebecca.
Fine? You look like a nervous wreck.
Stop this.
Oh, shit!
No. That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Command, affirmative. Bagging and tagging.
Does anyone know who the dead person is?
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give... the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Hello, sir.
Didn't you say something about a shake before?
I actually...
Put a pin in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should...
Sorry.
How's everything coming along, Elaine?
Very well, Mr. Fernsby.
Make sure you focus on your work.
I will.
I don't need one more name crime.
I do not envy you.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan, Yates & Cohn. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlyle account HT... See depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately. Yes, I'll... Yes, I'm still here. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist?
Hello, sir.
How are you, sir?
Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
I can't forget his eyes.
Take it easy, man.
Mary is so upset. And she's never seen a dead body before.
Tough sometimes.
Alexa, back to the dead.
Ooh, someone's all kitted out. Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But what is safe with Ethel? She never misses a step. Gossiping and work both.
Fake funeral tomorrow. Zachary found dead upstairs today. Death is everywhere. I never thought of it.
That appears to be a half-burned diary belonging to Zachary Carlyle. It says he and Madame Carlyle murdered their older brother 46 years ago, and that Mr. Fernsby helped them cover it up. He was planning to confess it all. Interesting.
I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlyle account, HTC depot number. This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
Two routes to get inside the house unseen. No one will do it, so don't worry about that.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator, hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice.
How are you today, sir?
A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all.
Yeah,
So
hey,
please
bro.
bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However,
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. I'm sure there's more to find in Zachary's room. Zachary's suicide note. Also,
a hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle, security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
This is very useful information, 47. A quick glance, and I can see that you've already uncovered some relevant facts. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Opened to Madame Carlyle's door.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very thorough.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
The bell! This'll be good.
False alarm. Some idiot rang the bell by mistake.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap.
Grandmother's not here.
He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting.
There's no meeting.
And
No
wanted to
idea
provide some
who rang
comfort.
the bell.
Who rang the bell?
I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, mother, and the staff were all the company he had. If that's all?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Oh, not the bell again.
No meeting. I really don't have time for this.
False alarm. Some idiot rang the bell by mistake.
Rebecca Carlyle. Can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner.
Who rang the bell?
You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends.
You have all kinds of interesting stories.
So I
Mr.
think,
Ferns will like
yeah.
later.
Did the portrait photographer check out? You verified his identity?
I did, sir. It all checked out.
That is the door to Rebecca's room. That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse.
What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? Now this isn't... Interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
Carlisle are made of money. Just lean back and enjoy the interest. Meanwhile, go and have some drinks on me. I'm gonna hang up. Let's talk to you about the fuck.
You look tanned. I bet Mother spent the last week at her Cyprus estate. Am I right?
I'm not at liberty to say now.
Oh, come on. I need to know what...
You always led by example rather than by word.
Well, Gregory put a stop to that, which was a surprise. He normally accepts his wife's outrageous behavior without batting an eyelid.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick.
Look at Rosie.
We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot.
Such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to...
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Painkiller. Lethal. If you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlisle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlisle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
That's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Poor thing.
And that detective asked to come here. Madame Carlisle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to
So many on call for us to pretend that we...
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any...
I don't believe for a second Zachary's being suicide.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
I'd say worried about how things will be handled with Gregory and Emma taking over. I said they let him stay, but Effie is sure Emma would throw him out. First chance she got. And now we'll never know.
Oh my. You're taking this far.
I'm ready to present my conclusion.
Very well. Let's talk in my office.
How are you, sir?
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing. Where
No
are you
need
going?
to feign innocence.
Please.
I know a
sit down.
killer when I see one, and my discretion
Right.
is assured.
Where were we?
The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room.
I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. The file you want.
Suppressive fire.
Appreciate it if you're finding. Please remain seated, Mr. Whitmer. Thank you. Now, where were we? Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I'm sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I'll send you an invoice.
Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. I trust you'll see yourself out. I need some privacy.
That's Madam Carla. Time to get the fire on all sides.
Shot! Pressure on! Need to reload! Shit! I'm down!
I see him! Right there! Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47.
Donc voilà, merci d'avoir regardé la vidéo. N'hésitez pas à vous abonner, partager. Vous dire à bientôt.